Game 1, Spurs Knicks, NBA Finals in the books. And unfortunately, your silver and black, they lost. Losing to the Knicks 105-95, are now down 0-1 to the Knicks in the 2026 NBA Finals. Welcome to a live show of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube Music. The list goes on and on. Don't forget to check out the Substack, Spurs in Focus Substack. Go find it, Google it, subscribe right now. We appreciate it. My name is Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. Thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Every time, every day you need to talk Spurs or watch Spurs or have some discussion about the Spurs, you come here to Spurs in Focus. Gentleman next to me is Mr. Rudy Campos. He is with the Sports Answer. He is on X at the Sports Answer. You want to follow him right now. And Rudy, first of all, I want to say that damn Corgi called it again. That stupid Corgi picked the Spurs to lose in game 1. And that dog was right again. Unfortunately, yes, Spurs fans, your Spurs got the L. And look, there's a lot of reasons why the Spurs got the loss. You can say from not playing to their standards. Was there fatigue? Who had more dog in them? Who had more of a clutch gene in them? Was it Fox not rising to the occasion? What happened? Did he go away from Champagny? There's a list that goes on and on. We're going to get into our 3 specific takeaways in just a few minutes. Then we're going to get into Rudy's, as I mentioned. Then we're going to go to turning points, standout stats, standout players, and then you guys, a lot Spurs in Focus fans. We're going to be watching your comments. Rudy is. He is the czar of the comment section. And so make sure they are good because Rudy's going to be monitoring them the whole show. We might be a little bit on warp speed tonight. Rudy will let me know if we need to ease up on that or not. But if you feel it going a little bit fast, just something kind of came up. So we got to kind of kick things into hyperdrive and let's enter the Millennium Falcon and talk about our takeaways. First of all, Rudy, my first big takeaway is throughout the playoffs, especially during the OKC series, we saw the Spurs come out and punch first. Big leads to start games. I'm talking 10, 15-point leads, from about game 3 Western Finals to game 7. Game 1, I didn't see that fire. It was the Knicks that had the fire. It was the Knicks that came out storming. And sure, the Spurs made a comeback and they took a lead. As a matter of fact, everybody, the Spurs had a double-figure lead. I believe it was the largest lead of 14 points, and they blew it. You saw bad turnovers. You saw silly fouls, i.e., why did De'Aaron Fox have to shove OG Anunoby towards the end of the game when the game was still on the line? That kind of swung the game. The little things popped up. Who had the more hustle efforts? The biggest hustle effort I saw was it was a high rebound, and the shortest guy on the court, Brunson, was able to get the rebound, tap it back out to his teammate. It swings back to him. He hits a 3-shot. Game. I mean, it was just like that, Rudy. So I want to start off with the Spurs didn't come out with that fire. It was the Knicks, and the little things caught up to San Antonio. And sometimes, Rudy, it's the little things that matter. And unfortunately for the Spurs, although they had some juice for a good chunk of the game, they just ran out of steam towards the end. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the first quarter was 27-19 San Antonio at the end of that first quarter. Spurs did win the first quarter, something that you and I had talked about, so they got to get off to a quick start. They just didn't have that same energy, I guess you saw in OKC and those wins, as well as Minnesota. And man, I mean, could it be, Wemby got enough to a slow start? Could it be Fox having some struggles? I mean, it could be pretty much anything. The Knicks just, I mean, they just were ragged, man. They came in, they were, they just came in. They knew what they had to do. They had to get at least one of these games going back to New York. Unfortunately, it was game 1, but there's really a whole lot you can point to. I mean, the fast start, would it have helped if they got off to a fast start? I don't think so, Jeff. I mean, you're talking about a Knicks team that came back from 22 down against Cleveland to still get, to win game 1 in that series. It just seemed like no matter what the Spurs did tonight, whether it be early in the first quarter, all the way to the end of the game, the Knicks had an answer times 2 for everything San Antonio did. So we can go into a basket and throw all the cards in there, and whichever one we pick is gonna be a reason why the Spurs lost this game. But
Yeah.
a quick start, hopefully you get a quicker start in game 2.
Yeah.
Spurs did everything right in the first quarter. I mean, there's no lie, they did everything right in the first half, if we're
Yeah.
honest. They did everything great. Um, but it was that 3rd quarter, that pesky 3rd quarter that came back to haunt them,
Yeah.
in this game, 28-21, the Knicks in the 3rd quarter, and they just never looked back after that.
It literally was a tale of two halves. Seriously. I mean, at halftime, it was 55-48 Spurs with the lead. But again, you didn't even see at the halftime, it wasn't a comfortable lead. You
Yeah.
dig deeper in the halftime stats. Those were the Knicks that were out rebounding the Spurs by 27-26. The
Mhm.
Spurs had a slim edge in assists, 11-10 at half. And look at the field goal percentage, it was almost dead even. Knicks were about 41%, the Spurs were at 40. But the biggest disparity was free throws. The
Mhm.
Spurs had a massive free throw edge at half, 12 trips to the free throw line, while the Knicks only had 3. So I thought, okay, fine. The Spurs are getting the calls. The Spurs are getting that home cooking. It should be okay in the second half. More on
Yeah.
that later. But again, I go back to the little things. Who had at half a little bit more offensive rebounds? The Knicks did 6-5. As a matter of fact, after the game, Mitch Johnson said that was the biggest area they need to clean up was rebounding. Sure, they won the rebounding battle overall, but when it mattered, it was the Knicks get it. Again, I mentioned that rebound that Brunson got. How many times did Hart show his heart that he wants to get that board? He didn't really have anything offensively, but he did the things defensively. More on that later. Um, and the biggest clue that I knew the Spurs were in for a fight in the second half, second chance points. That was keeping the Knicks in the game. At halftime, it was 11-2 Knicks with a first half edge in that category. But you swing to the second half, the Knicks thoroughly outplayed them, 57-40, outscored them in the second half. Again, they lost the rebounding battle by 6, 28-22, but it was what happened in that fourth period. In that fourth period, the Knicks again were just getting those offensive rebounds too. They were just key for them. They had 3 steals. Again, those effort kind of plays. Again, points off turnover in the fourth period, 6-0 edge to the Knicks. The Spurs, I just feel like they went away from what was working. Why did they stop going to Harper? Harper was torching them in the first half. I mean, he was playing like he was going to be the savior of the night, that he might get votes for a finals MVP. I mean, the kid was just cooking Knicks. He was really not really a factor in the second half. You look at Dylan Harper in the second half, just 4 points, 2 rebounds. He was a -17 and he played 11 minutes. But in that first half, Harper, 12 points, 6 rebounds, got 16 minutes, and he was a +12. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe just either it was just the lack of playing time, Spurs went away from him. And again, other players didn't maintain their momentum. Champagny was another reason why the Spurs were up big at halftime. No, he had like 9 points in the second period, Rudy.
Yeah.
12 points overall at half, something like that. And again, a non-factor. Rudy, it was just so frustrating because everything that went right in the first half should have continued in the second half, and it didn't.
Yeah, it didn't at all. I mean, everything like one of our comments from Rehome said, this seems like they left everything in the first half, and that's what we had mentioned a little while
Yeah.
ago. It was a tale of two halves. Spurs played great the first half. Everything was going right, even though Fox struggled in the first half, Wemby struggled in the first half. You had Champagne that was going on, and Dylan Harper was getting it done. Come in the second half, and it just seemed like Wemby was trying to force a lot.
Mhm.
And the one thing I didn't like, and I know you're going to dog on Fox, and I'm going to let you dog on Fox tonight. I mean, he did have a bad game tonight, but the one thing I didn't like with Wemby was what happened to, even the announcers mentioned it, getting the ball in the elbow and then going to the basket. You saw that a lot in OKC. He was able to get in the paint. He was able to dominate the paint some of these games, get to the rim, take, just take basic jump shots. But it seemed like he was catching the ball again beyond the arc, trying to make too much happen, trying to make something happen.
Mhm.
And at 7'5", I get it. You're what a lot of people consider a unicorn. You're
Mhm.
a rare breed, but when you've got a very scrappy Knicks team and one of the better defensive teams, especially in the playoffs right now, they know exactly what to
Yeah.
do. And it worked right into their hands by having him on the
Yeah.
perimeter there beyond the arc and having him dribble the air out of the ball. It's
Yeah.
not your game. So
Yeah.
everything slows down when Victor does that. But I mean, Harper not even in clutch time right now. That kind of surprised the hell out of me. We mentioned in our preview, Jeff, that came out this morning. I expect these guys to play 40 plus minutes.
Mhm.
I mean, this is the NBA Finals. If your best player is Dylan Harper and Champagne, and you're still rolling with Fox and Vassell, I might have an issue with that if both of those
Mhm.
guys are struggling tonight. I mean, no feelings hurt. There's no, hey, you know what? We're gonna go with you because you're the veteran, yada 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 yada. No, this is the NBA Finals. Whatever's working, you
Yeah.
go with. So I
Yeah.
mean, could it also be that maybe the coaching staff tried a little too hard? Maybe a little too
Maybe.
scared to try certain things. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, even Keldon Johnson got 8 minutes tonight, but it was a bad 8 minutes for Keldon
Yeah.
Johnson. I mean, this overall just a bad game by San Antonio and a
Well,
bad
I
bad
would say
second half.
half. Yeah. Bad
Bad
second.
second half. Sorry, bad second half for San Antonio, but a lot can change from here to game 2.
That's why I say you got to play 48 minutes. The Spurs did not play 48 minutes. You got to play 4 quarters. The Spurs only played 2 quarters. After the game, Wembanyama said he is not worried, that it is still at first to 4, and
Yeah.
that the team will be better and that he will be better. Although he had a good stat line, why did it feel, Rudy, that he didn't put his fingerprints on this game? The numbers are there. We're looking at his final numbers here for the game 26 points, 12 rebounds. But Rudy, he was a -3 on the night. Why didn't you feel like it was a Wimby kind of impact?
Well, I mean, 26 points, 12 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, that's a typical Wemby game, but you made the comment right now. It didn't look like he had a bad game. He had a terrible game, Jeff. I mean,
But
6
why?
of
Even though the
21.
numbers show otherwise.
He had an SGA game. He shot 12 free throws, went
That's
12
it.
to 13 from the line. I mean, when you're going for 12 points, you take that away, you're only scoring what, 14 points
Mhm.
on the night. So he got to the line a lot. They fouled him a lot, but it's not, he had a terrible shooting night. And not only that, if you're doing what a lot of NBA players do on the math, he had 6 turnovers. So -6 plus on his plus
Mhm.
side. That's just a horrible night for Victor Wembanyama. Karl Anthony Towns, able
Mhm.
just watching him out rebound Victor on a lot of occasions there. Mike Brown and the coach staff did a fantastic job on the game plan. You saw a lot of switching on Victor
Mhm.
Wembanyama, something that, again, you and I talked about. They're going to take him away from the paint where he's so comfortable. When they did that, that left Mitchell Robinson free for those offensive rebounds, for those defensive rebounds. I mean, it just made a lot of sense for them to do that. But overall, yeah, 26 and 12. It did not feel like 26 and 12. I could have swore he would have maybe had around
Yeah,
16, 17 on the night at most.
exactly. And another big reason why the Spurs took the L, again, tail of two halves. The biggest for me is their shot just was not falling the second half. In the first half, the Spurs shot 40% from the field. All right. And from the 3 line, they shot a respectable 38%. All right. So good. Hopefully that'll carry over the second half, right? Nope, it didn't. Uh, the Spurs shot 31% in the second half and 10% from the 3 line, going 2 for 19 from the
Mhm.
3 line. That's a dramatic difference. They went from pretty good hot shooting to ice cold in the second half. I gotta say, Rudy, I don't. As much as everybody's saying, "Oh, the Knicks haven't faced a team like the Spurs in their playoff run," is it? Am I stretching it by saying the Spurs haven't faced a team with that type of tenacity and defense in their playoff run?
Ooh. Because of injury, I'm gonna say, yeah, they haven't.
Okay.
I mean, the Knicks are other than Mitchell Robinson's mishap, who still played, the Knicks are probably the healthiest team the Spurs have played in these playoffs. I mean, I'm not gonna count Portland, but then you go with Minnesota with DiVincenzo out, Anthony Edwards with his little injury. Then you, of course, you go into OKC, Jalen Williams, and then AJ Mitchell going out as well. So this is the healthiest team that the Spurs have played in the playoffs. And not only that, the Knicks have been the hottest team in the playoffs. I mean, now they're up to what, a 12-game
12.
win streak
Yeah, they're on
in these
fire.
playoffs. And I have to admit, I downplayed what the Knicks did in the Eastern Conference because I thought, man, Toronto's not that good. Cleveland is good, but they're not that good. Now they're going to finally face a team that's on a roll, that is right there with defensively, right there with them. And then they came out and they just punched. I mean, you're
They punched him.
talking Clubber Lang punch to Rocky
Yeah.
here, to the San Antonio Spurs, and there was no looking back, man.
Yeah.
Can we easily say that Jalen Brunson needs to be in every MVP talk from here until the rest of his career is out?
How does
This
he
kid's
do it, man?
he makes it look so effortless, and that's why I had told my wife and a couple of friends, I said, "You thought SGA was good. Jalen Brunson is playing probably leaps and bounds better than SGA
No, yeah, for
at
sure.
this point, so it's just gonna be even tougher for San Antonio."
Yeah, absolutely. We dive deeper. Okay, so what we know that the second half was bad for the Spurs, right? Okay, but
Sure.
we fast forward to the fourth period, Rudy, and it got even worse. In the fourth period, the Knicks shot 41%, while your silver and black shot 28%, going 6 for 21. In that fourth period, the Knicks connected on 3 3-pointers, or the Spurs connected on 2. All right. That one little extra 3 could be the difference in a very close game as this was towards the end. All right. What about just inside the 3 line? All right. Well, the Knicks, again, got that slim edge, 37% inside the 3 line to the Spurs 36. Again, the little things matter now. So overall, you look at the fourth period, we talked about efficiency, effectiveness in our preview, Rudy. Who had the better effective field goal percentage in that fourth period? It was the Knicks. 48% effective field goal shooting to the Spurs 33%.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the numbers weren't lying heading into the game. One thing that me and Rudy highlighted in the preview was one of the biggest strengths that the Knicks have is throughout the playoffs, they are more efficient and more effective shooting. We saw that in that fourth period. Rudy, one thing we also talked about is the stars have to show up, or was it a game of the reserves have to show up?
Mhm.
Why do I feel like for the Knicks, it was both that showed up, and the Spurs star Wemby showed up, yes, kind of, but the Spurs role players, we're using role players loosely, just pretty much Wemby and everybody who's behind him,
Sorry.
didn't. Should we start off with Fox? I know he's your boy, man, but
Oh, I don't he may be my boy,
he
but
didn't he did not look good at all in the
yeah,
game.
38 minutes, only 7 points. I mean, I know you a lot of
Mhm.
people like to look at the plus and minus. He was a +2 on a positive. I mean, I guess you're gonna look at that side.
You're really
3
looking
of
for any little positive thing to back up his
Oh,
boy.
no. No, not at all. I mean, 7 points, man. He really, really struggled tonight, and I'm not gonna even say, "Oh, the high ankle injury that he had."
If
Well,
I say you to give a pass, or you gonna give a pass
no,
once?
absolutely not. I mean, 7 points, 3 of 13 shooting. A lot of his shots were inside the arc, and he got to the paint. He just missed a lot, and it seemed like it wasn't just him. Stephon Castle would get to the basket, and he would throw up a shot in the paint, and it would come up short. A lot of players, even on the Knicks side, they were short on a lot of jump shots for
Yeah.
some reason in the paint. But Fox, for one, he had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, and a steal. But just uncharacteristic fouls by De'Aaron Fox tonight.
I mean, that last one on
Yeah.
Anunoby, what were you thinking?
I
The game wasn't
mean,
out of control yet.
he finished the game with 5 fouls. I don't think I've ever remembered hearing De'Aaron Fox close to like 4 fouls in a game. But that was the biggest thing I think that kind of made me think, come on, Darren, you're a way better player than that. It was knowing that he had some very uncharacteristic fouls. There was one foul that he got called for. There was a push on Anunoby, and Anunoby flew across the court,
Mhm.
basically. I mean, come on. OG Anunoby is probably one of the strongest guys in the league, and De'Aaron Fox throwing him that hard or pushing him that hard and that fast, it made no sense. But nonetheless, he doesn't get a pass, man. Again, 3 of 13. If he knocks down maybe 3 of those shots that he
Yeah.
had in the paint that he normally would make, I mean, you're adding another 6 points. It's a lot closer game. It could be a difference of a turnaround. But yeah, no, there's no pass for Fox. There's no pass for Wemby tonight. I mean, there's really no pass for any player other than Champagny and, well, Dylan Harper. I mean, those 2 guys were the only 2 guys that kept the Spurs in it for a while there.
Every single Spur, with the exception of Keldon Johnson tonight, okay, and De'Aaron Fox,
Mhm.
were in the minus, the plus minus. Your biggest offender was Devin Vassell with minus 13 on the night. 9 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists in 36 minutes. He went 4 for 11, 36% shooting. Yeah. And the guy that I picked as my key player in this series, Keldon Johnson, well, just 3 points in 8 minutes.
Remember what I
So,
told you? He had in 2 games previous in the 3 games previously against the Knicks, he had 19, 3, and 3. And look at what he did tonight, 3 points.
yeah.
That's why we couldn't really pick him as a key player, or for me, a key player, because the inconsistency against New York was there. I didn't expect of Keldon. Like I told you on the show, it's kind of hard to expect you're going to get a Keldon performance because
Mhm.
of the matchup. I don't think he matches up with New York very well.
See, you're a little surprised by that because New York is a physical team. We saw in game one, and Keldon likes to play physical. I thought it'd play right into his hands, but
He
go
do
ahead.
he
Go ahead.
bully no, I'm saying he bullies, teams, which is great. He's a bull he's like, he's a ram. He comes in and he bullies the teams, gets to the basket, but when teams are physical back, he
Mhm.
tends to rush. He tends to get a little bit quicker. That's when a little bit more of his mistakes come. So this is a job for Mitch Johnson and the coach staff to see what kind of position they could put Keldon in. Because there's a lot of times he's on a fast break, Jeff, and he's just, you know what, I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to get to the basket.
Yeah.
And against the Knicks, it's just not going to work, man. They've got so many guys on defense that are so smart that can outwit and outplay Keldon Johnson and other players for that matter as well. So I mean, yeah, I didn't expect Keldon to have a really good game, and I said it before, I don't think he's gonna have a really good series at all.
Rudy, we're gonna get into our specific takeaways in just a few minutes, but I you look at production.
Mhm,
Which team had more production for their star, and then game one it was Brunson who got more help from his teammates.
mhm,
Brunson did some damage. We know that. Yeah, he did. He got the Spurs when it mattered because for most of the game, he was kind of quiet. He wasn't having a Brunson like game. But
no,
boy, did he wake up in that fourth period, torching the Spurs for 13 points, plus 10 in the fourth period. And he got the free throw line twice, made them both. Went 4 for 8 from the field. But beyond that, though, you just look over overall. Karl Anthony Towns chips in with 18 and 12. He was a plus 14. Ananobi, 17 and 3 rebounds. Josh Hart, I mean, that's how you. Josh Hart epitomizes what it means to wanting to win. Who
mhm,
wants it more? He only had 3 points in the night, but Rudy, he had 15 freaking rebounds. He was a plus 22, the highest for the Knicks in game one in
yeah,
26 minutes. Brunson had 30 points. Mikal Bridges, 9 points, and Landry Shamet with 13 points. McBride chipped in 6, and Jose Alvarado had 7. Overall, and by the way, Mitchell Robinson, even he played banged up. He had 6 rebounds on the night. It just felt like Brunson had more help with his supporting cast in the Spurs. What do you think?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good thing about it is, like we talked about before with Mike Brown putting Karl Anthony Towns in a different position. Now, instead of him being a focal point, instead of him being, I need to score this, I need to do this, Mike Brown basically told Karl Anthony Towns, hey, you need to be more of a facilitator.
Mhm.
You need to be, more of the guy on the top of the key making the plays happen. And that's something that Karl Anthony Towns has definitely bought into, made life easier for guys like Jalen Brunson, also with OG Anunoby. Jalen Brunson had a ton of help tonight,
Mhm.
man. One of the guys that I mentioned was Josh Hart. I said he's going to be one of the guys that could kill the Spurs,
Literally,
and
he literally had.
definitely, yeah, definitely not on the offensive side. I did say if he starts knocking down that three ball, it's going to be hard for the Spurs to win. But forget the three ball. If he's going to rebound like he's 7'4", then it's
He
going to
played
be
like
hard for the Spurs to win. He had the most rebounds out of anybody tonight,
yeah, even more than Wimby.
even more than Wimby. He out rebounded every player on the court tonight. So if you're going to get that kind of performance from Josh Hart night in and night out, it's going to be a very, very long series
You know,
for the San Antonio Spurs. But you're right. I mean, Landry Shamet, another guy that we highlighted, if he comes in and starts knocking down that three ball like he has been in the playoffs lately, there's no answer for that. There's no
Mm.
answer. You kind of put your hands up in the air and say, what is there? What are we supposed to do? He gets hot. That means we have to kind of lay off of Brunson a little bit. Brunson gets going. Once we shut him down,
Yeah.
you have OG Anunoby. You got another guy that can come in. So right now, Mitch has to really figure out what the best scheme is, and I believe him and Sean Sweeney will be able to get it done. But you really, if you don't, you don't have an answer for Brunson. There's no doubt about that. But you've got to have an answer when it comes to guys like Josh Hart, OG, Landry Shamet. I mean, we didn't even see Jordan Clarkson, but for 6 minutes, but
I
when he
know.
gets going, that's another guy that can kill you. So yeah, it's going to be a lot, and the Spurs have to not only deal with Jalen Brunson, they've got to deal with a plethora of Knicks players.
Yeah. I want to go back to the Spurs now, because kudos to Wemby. After the game, he did say that he needs to play better, and he's right. He does
Yeah.
need to play better. I need to see a little bit more aggressiveness out of him too. Um, Second thing too, and I want to get your thoughts on this. He also said it was the Spurs that gave away the game one. Do you think it was the Spurs that gave game one to the Knicks, or the Knicks got game one? To me, it feels like the Knicks got game one.
So I mean, let's just put it out there. The Knicks did not play very well tonight. I mean, as great as they looked on the court, this was not the Knicks' best game at all in the playoffs. I mean, they in this 12-game run that they've had, this is probably their worst game.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
they came out with a win. So I would say that Wemby does see something, and I kind of agree with Wemby that the Spurs did give this game away. Again, they started off the first half relatively hot. They left it in their locker room when they came out of halftime. They could have easily made the adjustments. Kind of seemed like they were forcing, a lot of their shots, trying to get. It seemed like they expended more on defense trying to stop Brunson and Cat and all these guys, that fatigue kind of maybe caught up to them towards the end. So the offensive side was just kind of, let me jack up a shot, let me jack up a
mhm,
three. Stephon Castle came up all short on a lot of shots, man. And that's something that you hadn't seen very lately. So could it be fatigue? Possibly so. But I think for me, more than anything, the Knicks did not play well. The Spurs basically gave this game away. I do agree with Wemby on that. There was some
mhm.
turnovers at the end of the game, including Wemby dribbling it off his foot. I
Yeah,
mean, at the last seconds of the game,
yeah.
it was uncharacteristic turnovers by San Antonio. So yes, I'm siding on Wemby on that.
Um, it was just a frustrating loss, because the Knicks, you could see a little bit of that rust in them throughout the game. They've been away from the court for a while. After the game, Mitch Johnson said it was not fatigue at all that got to the Spurs in game one. So he put an end to that discussion. But there you take solace, everybody, is that throughout this playoff run for the San Antonio Spurs, they have shown the resiliency to bounce back after a loss. The only where we started doubting that was those back-to-back losses to OKC in
Mhm.
the West in the conference finals. But a large part of this playoff run, the Spurs have proven to rebound after a loss. So we'll see what happens in game two. But that's for a later day. We're looking at game one right now with Mr. Rudy Campos of the Sports Answer. He is on X at the Sports Answer. You want to follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Now, before we take a break, let me show you my big takeaways from game one loss. Your San Antonio Spurs, oh man, got that L, man. Yikes, 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 yikes. Let me go put it up on your screen here if I can find it, because I got so many graphics I got to show you. But of course, the one that I want, I can't find. There it is. All right. Rudy, I'm going to put this up on the screen here for you. Get your thoughts on it. And here we go. I think New York has the clutch gene. Say what you about Mr. Fox, the clutch player of the year. I think in the close game, if there's another close game in this series and it's crunch time or clutch time, I'm going to go with the Knicks. I think they just show that they have a better clutch gene. The game was on the line in game one. The Spurs were not getting crushed. The Spurs were either ahead or behind. When they're behind, they were not behind by much. Maybe like 5 points in the clutch. All right. But I think New York just had a better feel for those moments where the hands are sweating more, where the rims looking smaller. The Knicks showed they have a better gene for that. Controlling the boards. Again, I know the Spurs won the battle of the boards, all right? But at the same time, it just felt like when a guy like Hart out rebounds most of the Spurs players, that's not a good thing. And you look at just the offensive rebounding. For me, that's what it was. In the second half, the Knicks had 4 offensive rebounds, but they capitalized on that. The Spurs had 9, but I didn't really see anything to go in for them as well. So I want to see them control the boards a little bit more. I need to see a bigger edge versus the Knicks in game 2. And the New York Knicks second chance points killed the Spurs. If you want a reason why the Knicks beat the Spurs overall, it was those damn second chance points. The Knicks had a whopping 23-14 edge in second chance points. Spurs just going to recover for that. Obviously, they came up small when it mattered, but second chance points really did some damage. Rudy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the clutch gene that you put for number one, I mean, there's not only one clutch gene on that player. That's Jalen Brunson, man. I mean, the guy cold as ice. And, if there's ever a player you would maybe want in winning time, it's probably him right there. Not only that, I mean, guys like we mentioned, OG Anunoby, Landry Shamet, these guys can hit big shots at big moments. Mikal Bridges has proven he can hit big shots. But yeah, the clutch gene, if it's a close game, you almost have to side with the Knicks on that one because they've got probably one of the best closers in the game right now in Jalen Brunson. And the boards, it's very interesting you brought up the boards because, I mean, we're not gonna dismiss the fact the Spurs did win the rebounding battle.
They did.
They won 54-49. Even on the offensive side, they won 14-10. But what feels even worse is that the Knicks had those timely rebounds. So
there you go.
number 2 would be timely rebounds. It was those rebounds that they got when the Spurs needed to get that rebound. The Knicks got it. Boom, pop it out to Brunson for a 3. Pop it out somebody for a 3. Get it back up and 1 for Karl-Anthony Towns. It was just timely rebounds that those Knicks got when they needed them on the offensive side. So yeah, I mean, Spurs they checked off one of Jeff's things where to win the series, you got to win the rebounding battle. And a lot of people were saying that they wanted tonight, they just didn't get those timely rebounds. And then the second chance points, you're right, man. When you give a team that many second chance points,
that's just too much, man.
Jesus, man, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose the game, and you're gonna be frustrated on the night all night if you keep losing that bottle. So yeah, great points right there, Jeff.
Yeah, overall, okay, we're taking a break. When we get back, we're gonna hear Rudy's big 3 takeaways from game 1 loss. As overall, it was a tale of 2 halves. The Spurs brought it in the half 1, they lost it in half 2. Second chance opportunities, huge edge to the Knicks, a big reason why they lost. And the star for the Knicks showed up when it mattered in that fourth period when the game was on the line. Because Rudy, you did highlight that it's going to be a battle of the stars in this series. Well, when both teams needed their stars to rise to the challenge, it was the Knicks. Brunson had 11 points. I'm sorry, Brunson did. Sorry. Yeah, Brunson had 13 points, as mentioned, and he was a plus 10 in the fourth period. You look at Wembanyama, he had 11 points, 7 rebounds, but he was a -6 because of those costly turnovers that he had. He had 2 turnovers in that fourth period, and one of them led to some, I think both of them led to some scoring opportunities for the Knicks. So there's that. Now, again, take solace. Wemby says that he's not worried. The team's not worried. They've been in this position before throughout the playoffs. Yes, I know it's the finals, but nevertheless, they have some experience, everybody, in these situations. All right, when we get back, we're going to hear what Rudy has to say. What is going to be Mr. Campos's big 3 takeaways from the game 1 loss? Your San Antonio Spurs are down now 1-1 to the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals. They need to play with the man without fear. There it does. That's what they need to play like. We're joined by Mr. Rudy Campos of The Sports Answer. He is on X at The Sports Answer. Follow him right now. Rudy, take it away. Give us your big 3 takeaways.
Well, I'm going to try to stay away from the stats part because I know the stats are, that's one thing we do get into our stats. One of them that I've got is the guards for the San Antonio Spurs continue to rebound. Vassell, Champagny, Harper, Castle. I think they had 34, 35 rebounds combined tonight. They did a tremendous job on the boards, man. So I would say one big takeaway is to continue to rebound the way that they did. What does that do? I mean, that starts a fast break super early. When a guard gets a rebound, you're able to get down the court pretty quick. You've got to continue to rebound the ball. That way you can out rebound the Knicks in general. Help keep Cat off the boards as well. Even get him an over the back call here or there. Makes it tough for him to get the ball. It actually helps out Victor a whole lot under the board. So, yes, rebounding number one for the guards is my big takeaway. The other big takeaway is this, man. Coach staff needs to quit playing with fear. I'm going to say it, with fear, because you've done a great job all postseason long, and then in your first game of the NBA Finals, it just didn't seem like you were having that much faith in a guy like Dylan Harper, who is your favorite, who's your future superstar in the league. It seemed like Julian Champagny, we needed you just for that first half. We're good the second half. Got to keep doing what's working for you. I know the Knicks are going to make a run. They're going to make a huge run.
Yeah.
And it's going to start with Brunson. But when you've got a hot hand, you've got to continue with that hot hand until it has completely cooled off. You think the likes of George Gervin quit shooting the ball after he missed 2 or 3 times? Hell no. George shot until he couldn't shoot no more, and he knew he was not making it. That's the thing, is that I think Mitch might have maybe overthought a little bit, when it came to the game one, and that's okay. It's his first NBA Finals. It's pretty much everybody's first NBA Finals on both sides of the court.
Yeah, both sides. Yeah.
Mike Brown's been there before, but I mean, it's pretty much everybody's first NBA Finals. Sean Sweety's been there before. I just think a lot of it was the coaching staff towards the end of the game. There was some substitution issues. There was some play calling. I mean, we talked about it. Wemby catching the ball beyond the arc and then having to dribble to the basket. A lot of, it just seemed really slow tonight when it came to the San Antonio Spurs offense. So coach staff for me is the second biggest takeaway, is that I think they've got to make some kind of adjustment and go back to what works. And what's weird is they went back to what worked against OKC towards the end when you saw that high double screen, and they started doing it again. But it's a little too late when you're trying to get it, with 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes left in the game there. Last takeaway, Jeff, Wemby hit it on the head, man. They didn't play their best game, and that's exactly what I was going to say. They got their Knicks' worst game. The Spurs didn't play well at all. Does that spell fear for the Spurs? Maybe a little bit, because do we really expect the Knicks to have bad games? Not really. They're going to play a lot better than what they did tonight. So the Spurs have to be ready coming into game 2. I think what we need to see is Wemby needs to attack the basket a lot more. You want to get a guy like Karl-Anthony Towns who can really generate a lot of fouls early if you really put your body into him. He's a great defender, but when it comes to Wemby is a very crafty guy, very skilled guy on the offensive side. So he can get Cat into a lot of foul trouble. I think they got to pound the rock, get him into the post, let him play one-on-one on Anthony down in the post area. Stephon Castle needs to attack the basket a little bit more. Dylan Harper needs to continue to attack the basket. So the third takeaway for me is you've got to attack the rim, dude. You've got to get to the rim so much that the paint is wearing off from the dunks, from the layups, from everything that you are getting in. The only way to beat the Knicks is to get them into foul trouble, continue to attack the basket, make Jalen Brunson work on defense. If you allow him to slack off on defense, all his energy is there on offense. Jalen Brunson is a human. He will get tired. Make him work on defense. Those are the things that I've got from game 1 that are heading into game 2.
Another, if I can add a fourth takeaway is,
sure.
I thought the Spurs were trying to limit Knicks fans going to the game. Rudy,
don't get me started on that shit.
There was a freaking more than a handful of
you started that shit
at the Frost. I can understand a little smattering here, but during even the TV commercials or going into games or when the Knicks were doing runs, it felt like we're in an MSG. I mean, you could even see it, everybody. Remember, supposed to be a sea of Fiesta colors? It was disrupted by a bunch of blue T-shirts scattered throughout the lower bowl. Rudy, I thought the Spurs want to make sure that minimal Knicks fans go there, but man, there were plenty of them.
Yeah, I'm trying not to cuss as much as I'd like to.
You're allowed one cuss, so you can use one cuss.
Jesus. Oh, let me see if I can use it in a good spot here. But I have a massive problem because, Ticketmaster put it out. You have to be within 150 miles
Right.
to purchase tickets, and season ticket holders were able to get it. I know some Spurs fans probably paid the prices and got their tickets, but I'm gonna say right now, if you purchase tickets just to resell them to New York Knicks fans, you are not a Spurs fan, period at all. This is the first time they've been in the finals since what, 2014. I mean, this
Mhm.
is something that's really big. You're
Yeah.
supporting the team the entire year. You're supporting the team the entire playoffs. There were no other issues in the playoff running, especially against OKC, who's what, number one team in the league,
You're right.
who's a 6-7 hour drive away from San Antonio or whatever it is. And then when it comes to the Knicks, Knicks fans travel. They're going to pay whatever prices you want to get. Who gives a shit if you are gonna make, double or triple the money that you're gonna sell a ticket? You bought the ticket for a reason, man. There's no reason why there should be a lot of Knicks fans in the Frost Bank Center. I get it. This is the Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl
Yeah.
for the NBA. I get you're gonna get celebrities. Those celebrities, they're gonna get their tickets regardless. Totally understand. I'm gonna give them a pass. But when it comes to Knicks fans behind the bench, when it comes to Knicks fans along the sideline, on the end lines, everywhere. I mean, it was driving me crazy to know that Spurs fans decided I'd rather take the money than go to the game myself. Spurs, Ticketmaster, everybody, you got to do a better fucking job on this shit
Mhm.
because this is getting out of hand, man. When you have more MVP screams for Jalen Brunson when he's on the free throw line than you
Mhm.
do for Victor Wembanyama, that is a huge problem in your own arena. Do you expect Spurs fans to be in MSG when they go back to New York? Probably
That's a
not.
pretty penny. That's worse than
Not
here.
only that, but
Yeah.
Knicks fans are not going to sell their tickets in NBA final competition. They're not
Mhm.
stupid enough to sell their tickets. They are diehard fans. So for you fans out there that decided to sell your tickets, you're not a diehard fan. Stay at home. Congratulations that you got your money. Go buy your freaking car. Go buy whatever you want with it. Congratulations, you got your money. You got your second income tax return.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that again. Go to hell with that shit.
There you go. Way to go, Rudy. Yeah, you tell those Spurs fans that sold the tickets. Hey, you know what? Before we continue, we're gonna get to turning point, standout stats, et cetera, et cetera, just a few minutes. But Rudy, you want to tell them about the super chats? Explain to them what's going on.
Yeah, so the good thing about Spurs in Focus is that you can drop super chats now on YouTube, or you want to drop Jeff and I a little bit of a super chat. Hey, it goes right back to you guys. It helps us promote a lot of stuff as well, and we appreciate it very, very much. If you want to support the channel, help this channel keep going for Spurs in Focus, sports answer, all that stuff that we do, drop a super chat there. You get a super chat in there, you read your super chat ASAP. We react
Mhm.
to it. We do everything we can for you on there. So yeah, drop a super chat if you want to.
Yeah, to you guys, Spurs listeners that are hanging in here with us. Once again, your San Antonio Spurs lost game one in the NBA Finals, 105-95. You're down 0-1 to the next game. Two will be Friday in San Antonio, and the Spurs did lose home court advantage. So there's that. All right, it's that fun time of the show where Rudy is on. I want to say the hot seat, but he just gets a little surprised here. Will the first category be turning point? Standout stats, standout player. Let's find out. The first one Rudy's going to react to.
Ooh, standout stat, man. I can go a whole different ways
That's what
here.
you can.
Uh,
I know where
this
I'm going, so let me see where you're going to go with this.
standout stat is not so much of a stat. It's basically rebound, but it's the timely rebound. That was the
Mhm.
stat that I've got. Spurs won the rebounding battle total. They won the offensive rebounding total 14-10. But it's those 10 offensive rebounds that came at the
Mhm.
right moment, the right time for the New York
Yeah.
Knicks. My standout stat is the timely rebounds. Why? Because there was an opportunity where the Spurs could have got the board, didn't get it. Knicks kick it back out, 3-point attempt, miss, rebound the ball again, miss,
Mhm.
rebound the ball again. And finally, they either knock down a three or they get an and one. It's those little timely rebounds that killed San Antonio tonight. Spurs were up by a point, maybe down by a point. The game was maybe tied. And it just seemed like every time the Knicks got
Mhm.
one of those timely rebounds, Jeff, the momentum was killed. The air out of the Frost Bank just got sucked out. And that's when I felt, you know what? This is the Knicks game. They're probably not going to lose this game because they're just getting every little timely rebound. My stat of the night is the timely rebounds, man. They've got to clean that up big time going into game two.
Yeah, my standout stat is the number 14. That was the Spurs' biggest lead, and they blew it. That stood out to me because I wanted to see if this young Spurs team can maintain a lead in the NBA's biggest stage, the NBA Finals. And at least in Game 1, they did not. They had a 14-point lead, everybody, and they blew it. As a matter of fact, for the game, they led 26 minutes and 41 seconds to the Knicks 19 minutes and 31 seconds. But you fast forward to the fourth period, that's when everything fell apart. The Knicks led for 10 minutes and 50 seconds in that fourth period, where the Spurs led 26 seconds. But again, goes back to that lead. They couldn't maintain the lead. They got comfortable. This is a Knicks team. They should have been aware of this in the scouting that has proven they can come back from a freaking 20-something deficit like that. As a matter of fact, Wemby, after the game, said that for the team, that they felt the Knicks comeback was quick. They're like they were like shocked, like, whoa, it's over, you know.
Mhm.
So you cannot lay your foot off the gas against this Knicks team. They've proven any deficit is not out of reach for them. So again, my standout stat is 14. That was the Spurs' biggest edge or lead in the game.
Or you want to flip a coin because there's only two standout players on the night. I'll go with Dylan Harper. I mean, the kid came out, played with a lot of heart for his first NBA Finals,
Yeah.
first playoffs. I mean, as a
Good.
rookie, we had 16 points tonight, 8 rebounds. Yeah, he was a -5 on the night, but I mean, again, I don't really look at the minus plus or minus a whole lot of times because Dylan was playing really, really good. It wasn't his fault that they may have lost the lead at the time. It was due to other players, but 1 assist, 1 turnover, only 1 steal. Really, really took a beating on some drives to the basket. Didn't really flinch, didn't blink an eye. He just kept on going. Played some really good defense as well. I mean, it almost feels like you start with Fox, and if Darren is off to a very slow start, you just kind of sub in Dylan for a longer period. Make Fox maybe that six man off the bench, basically, but not doing it, taking away a starting spot. But I think you should be able to get Harper some more minutes in game 2. 28 minutes is a lot, but I would have rather him to get that 35, 36
Yeah, me
minutes.
too.
It could have been a big difference for them, and yeah, if he's getting torched by Brunson, who the hell is it? Everybody's getting torched by Jalen
everybody
Brunson,
is.
so not a big deal. But Dylan Harper is my standout player of the night. He just deserves to be on the court a whole lot more. And I checked the mail, Jeff, and I still haven't got my card from me saying that I was right about Harper 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh well, you're gonna get it now. Good job, Rudy. You did well. Picked him right. I'm gonna go with this guy for my standout player. I mean,
De'Aaron Fox?
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I thought you had to go with the. If you letting me go with the Nick, I could have gone with the Nick. I'm trying to go with the Spurs.
I just say game 1 standout players. I don't say
Oh, see,
Spurs standout players.
This is the kick in the balls you give me from time to time here.
Hey, I'm not hiding anything from you. I just say game 1 standout players. That's all I said. I got to go with Brunson, man. I mean, he. What more can you say about this guy? And you're right, Rudy. He should get a lot more attention for NBA MVP.
Yes.
A lot of the accolades for what he does. And I know this is a Spurs in Focus show, but you got to be real. That guy you see on your screen, he was a big problem for the Spurs on the night. 30 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in 37 minutes. Fast forward to the fourth period, 13 points, and again, a plus 10 in the fourth. In the clutch moments, he had 5 points in 4 minutes. He just did it all for the Knicks. So he is my standout player. I know everybody's Spurs in Focus, but
he shot bad from the field. I think about that.
Fine. That's
no. 30 points out shooting bad. That's crazy.
But what about when it mattered, though?
No. I'm not dogging it. I'm just saying he had 30 points on a bad night of shooting. Imagine if he was shooting a good night. You're talking about 40 plus, maybe 50 on the night.
Yeah.
I mean, what was he? 10 of 22 from inside the arc? That's a bad shooting out for Brunson. But If he goes on one of his normal shitty nights, Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
it's 45, 46 on the night. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I said the Knicks played bad tonight, and
Yeah.
that's scary. That's very
And
scary.
that's the thing too. It's scary for both sides if you think about it. It's scary for the Spurs. Like, man, the Knicks didn't play well, and they still got the win. And then for the Knicks, you're like, okay, that Spurs team, they didn't play well, but they kept it close for a good chunk of the game. So game 2 is going to be very, very interesting. All right, let's get to our final category.
Turning point, third quarter. I mean,
Yep.
that's
I'm going to skip mine because you took mine. That's the only one I had is third.
yeah. I'm
But,
I'm gonna vaguely hit on it because I want you to hit on it more. But
okay.
yeah, I mean the third quarter, something that has dominated Spurs talk in years past and crept back up in the Spurs in focus tonight is that third quarter. They had the lead going into halftime. Everything felt right. Champagne was good. Harper was well on his way to probably a Finals MVP. I mean, it just felt like the Spurs had it in the bag. There was no wrong that they could have done. They did everything they could to Jalen Brunson. They understood Cat was getting his, but everything just felt right. And then the third quarter happened, and boom, it was night and day. So,
Exactly.
yeah, the turning point for me was the third quarter. Hopefully, they come back out in game 2 and finish 4 quarters. I don't know if maybe, Adam Silver, who was in the building, went into halftime and said, Spurs, I kind of need y'all to lose this game. So maybe y'all want to choke that third quarter off and do what you do best. But yeah, like Charles Barkley once said, man, there's, taxes, death, and Spurs choking in the end. And that's kind of what happened now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the third. You felt the momentum swing towards the Knicks. Everything was going their way. The Spurs were well, at least projecting the wrong way. They were coming down after the first half. In that third period, the Knicks outscored the Spurs 28-21. In that third period, the Knicks had more assists than the Spurs, 7-3. They outshot the Spurs 44% to the Spurs 35%. They got to the line just one more time, 7 times. But you're looking at other key areas. They tied the Spurs in offensive rebounding. They actually had more blocks than the Spurs, 3-0 in that third period. Minimal turnovers. They only had 1 to the Spurs 3. And again, points off turnover, edge to the Knicks 5. Second chance points, edge to the Knicks 5-4. And in that fourth period, the third period, excuse me, you just saw the momentum swing towards the Knicks. It was theirs. It was theirs for sure. The Spurs make their runs. We saw it, but you could just feel the Knicks were starting to get control of the game in that third period. All right, those are our turning points, our standout stats, standout players, and we gave our overall thoughts. Well, what do you guys think? Let Rudy know on X at the Sports Answer. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Once again, we got super chats. So if you're feeling generous and kind tonight, you know what to do. Hit us up with one. Rudy, it's time for the Spurs in Focus fans to take over. You've been monitoring the chat room. And by the way, I've been noticing some knuckleheads pop in, so I've been kicking them out. So just be worried about that, Rudy. So
No, I got them.
away, man.
I got them all out too as well. Joel's in here. Texas Rican, who's always a part of the Spurs in Focus. His first question is this the Knicks' best punch?
No,
And
I
yeah,
don't think so.
I think we've said it quite a few times tonight how this was the Knicks' probably worst game in that 12-game winning streak. So I really feel that they're going to probably come a lot stronger than they did tonight. So Spurs need to be ready. Zoe is saying hi. He says, next question, is Jalen Brunson a baller or what?
That he is, man. He was my standout player for the night.
I mean, 12 of 31 from the field, Jeff.
It's not a matter. It's about how you finish the game, man. And he finished it in the right way, man.
So that's an SGA stat line, except you would see maybe 12 free throws. Jalen Brunson shot 4. 4 free throws on the night.
But hey, let's give also credit too. I mean, sure, Brunson did a lot of the damage in a clutch time, but there's a guy next to him, OG Anunoby. We didn't even talk about him. In that fourth period, he was right there with Brunson with 12 points and 1 rebounds, and he was a +5 for the Knicks. So again, Brunson had help.
He had a lot of help tonight. The Knicks wanted it more tonight, definitely.
Yes.
Rehome says, man, we left everything in the first half, it seems.
Yeah, it's pretty much tale of two halves, Rehome.
He says, we're not going to win if we have 16 assists. Tom Petrino throughout when Fox and Wemby shoot 9 of 34 from the field. It'll be hard to win games. Yeah,
Yes,
both.
sir.
That's what we said. Both Fox and Wemby, Fox had a terrible, terrible game. Wemby had a terrible game if you look beyond the stats. He had a bad game. I mean, they both combined for 9 turnovers on the night. I mean, they both were just bad. So could we equally put the blame on them? I mean, maybe you give Fox a little more blame than Wemby, obviously. Offensive rebound was an issue. Okay, season 2 is nothing but muscular. Yeah, offensive rebound definitely. People were asking about Harper not in there in clutch time
I don't
again.
know why he was on that court. He was killing the Knicks.
Yeah, we talked about it. We don't know if it was a Mitch Johnson thing. Was it the coaching staff? Maybe they felt the matchups weren't right. I mean, they looked pretty good when he was in there already. Cornette is unplayable, too slow. Fox is a defensive liability. I will say Fox a defensive liability? No. Cornette unplayable?
No, I don't think he's unplayable.
He's not unplayable, but Anthony Towns can definitely beat him off the dribble. So there's got to be something that we got to figure out there. Tim Gonzalez says, "What's up, guys?" Says, agree with the comment. Luke came in and they attacked him right away.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
everybody saw that.
But then everybody does that. Every time Wemby's out, and they
attack.
It was the Thunder, the Blazers, or the Wolves. They attacked that paint. So I don't think that's really much of a surprise.
Yeah, it says it looked like the Spurs players were a little nervous down the stretch. You think maybe not fear, but maybe the youth came into play towards the end. There's more veterans on the Knicks side. We have to admit that.
I think the Knicks outplayed them.
They did. All right.
Yeah, down the stretch. Yeah.
Three starters played bad. Wemby, Fox, and Vassell. Vassell was one of my.
And well, the way I go back to my comment there, I bring that up because again, what epitomized that for me, again, was that key rebound that Brunson had towards the end of the game, where he kind of rebounded and batted it back out to the OG, and then OG swung it to Brunson, and Brunson hit that 3. So those, again, you see those type of out hustle plays that the Knicks did to the Spurs.
That's a 5-point turnaround at least right there. Wemby, Fox, Vassell played bad. Brunson was amazing. We cannot hate on his game.
You can't hate on his game, man.
Love Brunson, y'all. Dude is good. The fourth quarter was really, really bad for the Spurs. A lot of shots were rushed. No offensive movement at all. That's what I was saying. It felt stale, especially with Wemby. Like, he's getting the ball way beyond the arc, and it's like, why are you doing that, man? You know, you have guards for a reason on the court. Just play the pick and roll, pick and pop if you need to.
Yeah.
Best way to neutralize Brunson to be attack him on defense. He's not a good defender, and that's what we said. Get him tired. You know, you gotta on the defense side make him work, because then he fatigues easily when it comes to the offensive side. 43 point attempts is ridiculous, and that's what the Spurs had. 43. I couldn't believe they were shooting that many threes, Jeff. To be honest,
it didn't feel like it for the game. It didn't feel like it. It felt like the Knicks were trying to chuck up more threes.
It seemed like Castle was junking. How many did he have? Because he took a ton.
He
only took 5, but it seemed like Castle shot. Every time I looked, it seemed like Castle was tons of 3-point. Harper was getting more minutes, or
he has to get more minutes in game 2.
I'm telling you right now, if you want to ask me for game 2, the focus part, I need him to get at least 35 minutes, and I think the Spurs end up winning that game. Jeff, you had to interview a diehard Knicks celebrity fan on your podcast. Who would it be?
That's a good question. Knicks? Tracy Morgan. Man. That'd be fun.
You would take Spike Lee?
Yeah, I feel like it's been there, done that with him, you know.
I forgot. You lived in New York. You probably have had dinner with Spike Lee a ton of times.
No, but I did get drunk with Luke Walton. I mean, not Luke Walton. Bill Walton.
No way.
I have a receipt and everything. I photograph of me and him.
Dude, I met Bill Walton twice, and both times it was an amazing experience. Bill Walton's always going to be.
We were on near Mass Square Garden on 34th Street. And he was at a bar. I forgot the name of the bar, and he was there on like a sponsorship thing for Guinness. And the event was over, but Walton invited a select few of us to go upstairs and sit with him and have drinks while he told us stories about his time in the NBA, just basketball overall. But remember, Guinness was sponsoring it, so they just kept coming with drinks. It was on into the house the whole night. And so no, I'm like wobbly, and Walton was just going off.
Oh man, if I could have been a fly on the wall for that one right there. Every series Spurs has gone at least 6 games, and Knicks have coasted through. Fatigue was a factor. We were up at the beginning of the game, then lost.
They had more rest than the Spurs did.
They did. I mean, I'll get you a question in a minute. My stalker's in here, Jeff. This game they seem to be scared. Too many turnovers, not making shots, and then rebounds, which was trying to say. Jalen said the Knicks didn't play well tonight. Yeah, a lot of people feel that the
Yeah.
Knicks didn't play well.
I think both sides didn't play their best game.
Yeah, the rust wore off for the Knicks at the end of the game. The need to win.
And that's very similar to what we saw during the Knicks run. Their game ones always seem weird, and then they just like take off like a firecracker throughout the series.
Exactly. Fresh team brushed towards the end of the game. Didn't have it tonight. I think we'll be okay. Let me stop right there because we got a few more in here I want to get to. But do you put a lot of stock into game one after what you saw? Just recap game one. Do you put a lot of stock into this game?
Yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's a very big focal turning point for the series just after one game?
I want to say it's a turning point. I think it just puts me more on guard, more cautious, more. I think if I'm the Spurs, I'm like, okay, yes, it's just one loss. It's the first of 4, but it would have been different if it was a slaughter. Then I would have been, nah, the Spurs are in trouble. It wasn't, thank goodness. But I puts me on cautious because I project this series being very similar to game one. And what worries me is the Knicks have a bigger clutch gene than the Spurs do.
Yeah, they do. I will give you that. James not afraid to go inside at all.
He's not, man. He's not. I don't think any of them Knicks, on a few occasions, they kind of backpedal and saw Wemby there. But for the most part, I mean, you saw Cat go at Wemby on the offensive end. You saw Brunson, as you mentioned right now, commenter, that, yeah, he went in. They weren't afraid. And I always wondered how come teams, just in general, the weakest point in attacking Wemby is trying to get him, trying to cross him up, trying to break his ankles, or crossover, something, just disrupt, dislodge him, or start knocking down your high mid range, and you should be all right.
Yeah. They're doing a good job. I think they're going to do a really good job on Victor. We just got to see the adjustment for game 2. I buy very little stock into game 1 because, like you said and I said, it's a close game. I mean, both teams played bad. I mean, we haven't got their best in game 1, so needless to say, it's just game 1.
I'm expecting game 2 to be like a barn burner, man. I think it'll be fireworks.
I think the possibilities of a blowout in game 2 are there, to be honest.
See, I don't see it. I see it more of a closer game than what game 1 was.
I don't know, man. You know what? We're going to leave it for the refs. Let's see who's refereeing.
We're going to do a game 2 preview adjustments show for tomorrow. So stand by for that, everybody.
This is basically being young doesn't mean, you ever get tired of sports. Yeah. I was rooting for the Spurs. They let go of the rope and cost them the game. Young team learning on the fly.
Yeah.
That's why I think maybe a little bit of the youth came out in this game, but who knows at this point. Catching up to you, bounce back. 1-3 when they wear the Fiesta shirts in the stands.
We got to ditch it. No more. That was fun for a while. Just kill it.
Yeah, I was talking about the tickets for the Knicks, and you won't. My stalker says MSG, you won't see a sea of black and silver at all. USG. I'm gonna bring this up, and I don't have anything against the Jackals. And Matt Gama says the Jackals lost at the edge. He had no chance. I want to bring this up because I don't pick on the Jackals. I really don't care about the Jackals, or I think they do. I mean, whatever. It's a cheerleading group, and soccer does it. Everybody does it. I mean, it is. Soccer does it, and I mean, NCAA basketball. You see it at Duke all the time. Duke Blue Devils. The Cameron Crazies. So everybody has it, but all year, even the playoffs, that group has been ridiculously loud. I didn't hear jack tonight from him. So was it because the Knicks fans were louder than the Jackals? I mean, as hard as that seems to believe, were the Jackals even in the building?
I mean, they definitely were. They're all over social media right now. So
okay, I'm making sure because it just seemed very weird that the Jackals were not as loud as they normally had been, especially in an NBA Finals. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Rudy's cutting the WWE promo. Yeah, yes, man.
Rudy was upset about the ticket thing.
Well, I mean, who the hell is it, man? I got one in comment in here we got to get to. We had some extra ones that came in here.
Sure.
Little Perry, hashtag Knicks. Love that.
Oh, I'm the Knicks fans. All right.
JG, okay, JG's in here, and he asked this. He's still defending Fox today. Now, I'm assuming that's to me. So
that's for you. Yep.
I will say this. If you go back to the beginning of the show and throughout the show, I have not defended De'Aaron Fox once tonight. I have not. I've said he had a very bad game. Which, at what point did I almost defend Fox?
What about the ankle thing?
No, I said,
oh, that's right. You said you weren't giving him a pass.
I said, there's no pass. Yeah, I don't care if he says my ankle hurt or whatever. It means nothing. Nothing at all. I am putting the blame. Yes, De'Aaron Fox had a very bad game tonight. He had 7 points. You know, he did have 3 turnovers, very costly turnovers in certain spots. Very uncharacteristic fouls by him. So, no, I did not give him a pass tonight. I did not defend De'Aaron Fox. So that we had to get that on the criticism. Do you have for the coaching?
Oh, Rudy
I've given it. Do you have any criticism for him?
Yeah, I just think it was poor management towards the end. The biggest one, Harper wasn't out there when it mattered, when the game was on the line. I think he would have been more effective than Fox was. I get why Mitch does that, you know, the experience, you know, that Fox has, but I think you should have just thrown Harper out there because again, he was torching the Knicks for at least a half. He was, and seriously, they didn't have an answer for him. He had like 8 points in a row.
Yeah,
timey threes. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But nevertheless, no, I think that was the biggest one for me. Just Mitch, you might want to put in the Rook, man, because he's been balling, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think with the coach staff, it was more of the substitutions, man. I mean, you can't rely on certain guys in certain points, especially if you're struggling. Where is it? Appreciate the honesty. You are very welcome, man. I mean, I am honest on this show. I'm honest on every show. Fox today airball 2 6 foot later. That's what we said. And when he got in the paint, he just everything was coming up short. Same with Stephon Castle. Shots were coming up short in the paint. It seemed like Wemby was trying to block their shot, and they were, kind of scared of that. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Will there be an overtime during the series?
I think there will be an overtime game in this series.
Is there a Friday game in there? Because if there is,
this Friday. It's this Friday.
Okay, make it an overtime game that day because I can't do during the week where it's overtime games.
Yeah, I'm glad these games are a little like an hour earlier than we were during the conference finals. Helps me and Rudy, that's for sure.
De'Aaron Fox horrible as hell tonight. He's going through 38 minutes, 7 points. There are a lot of Fox hate. And
about it, yeah.
By all means, give Fox all the hate if you want, man. I'm not defending him on social media or anything. He had a bad game. Hard time for Harper to start. You can't do it this late in the season. There's no way right now. No way at all. Dear Fox, what is going on with Fox? I have no idea. Didn't hear Jack. No pun intended.
No one said that. That was funny.
Almost like they didn't have their legs under them tonight. Those are all the comments we had, man.
Hey, well, thanks for all leaving those comments there, and we appreciate it. If you didn't get a comment in, not a problem. You can go to the Spurs In Focus YouTube page, leave a comment there. Maybe we'll reread them during the Game 2 preview. By the way, on deck is going to be our good friend James Espinosa out in Corpus Christi with the Sunday Sports Rush. He'll be helping me preview Game 2. A very good Lord, Rudy. No, I'm not going to go there yet. I'm not going to. Okay, I'm not going to go there. Is it a must win for the Spurs? A must win already.
I would say so. I don't think I can. I don't think I can truthfully sit next to you and say, no, they can go down 0-2 to New York. That's not a problem.
No, they can't.
The Knicks are not OKC. They're not Minnesota. Yeah. They're healthy. You can't give you already gave them some hope. And that's the one thing you didn't want to do is give them hope. But hey, expect them to go 1-1. We expected them to go 1-1 in San Antonio. I know I did.
Yeah. The Corgi did. Got 1-1.
If you believe the Corgi, the Spurs are winning in 7. So I mean,
what's the problem? Yeah,
you see me worried? I'm not worried about anything. So the Corgi's wrong. I'm not worried.
Yeah, you see all those competitive animals trying to do the same thing. There was a pug trying to do it. There was literally a cat that was in a New York Knicks jersey, picking the Knicks, obviously.
Which I call BS because if you look at the bowl, there was a treat just in the Knicks bowl. I don't think I ever saw one in the Spurs bowl. So come on,
everybody's trying to cash in right now, man. That Corgi took off. Hey, when are you gonna do yours? You gotta have your.
I do have 2 dogs. I have 2 dogs, and one of them's a pug, and she's a little dumb. So I'm not gonna let her do anything like that. My other one's a little, she's kind of little weird. Like, I mean, she's not like not the Men in Black, but not like the Deadpool dog or anywhere her tongue sticks
Oh,
out or
tongue
anything. But
hanging out. Yeah.
yeah, she's just a little like she's a little. I don't know what she is.
And you know what's more upsetting for me too that the
Yeah.
Spurs lost? Because today was freaking the early screenings of Masters of the Universe, and I
You
said
should have
no.
gone to see it. I told you you
I
should have
said
gone to see it.
no. I'm gonna watch the Spurs get a win. Yeah, here we are. I gotta wait till what? Maybe tomorrow to go see a screening. And again, they're just limited screenings right now, so you gotta get a ticket or you miss out. So darn it, Spurs.
Go Friday. Who cares? I mean, it's just the NBA Finals. Nobody
Hey,
cares about that.
hey, I'm not gonna miss game 2. By the way, I found out that through these websites that I'm not going to divulge the whole thing, that Mando and Grogu is already uploaded. I'm going to watch it
You may as well.
tomorrow.
I'm glad you didn't pay for it. I'm glad you didn't pay for it.
Oh, we got an extra comment here. Oh, what is the last comment here?
JG says Fox couldn't wait to get the ball out of his hands in the fourth quarter. I'm tired of his inconsistency. He has one decent game every 7 games he plays. Good thing we paid him the max.
Here we go, Rudy.
Sarcasm.
We hate the paying the max.
I mean, the only thing I've ever said about De'Aaron Fox is that he's a max player because that's the deal that he was promised by San Antonio. He would have got a max contract anywhere else he went. So when he was traded to the San Antonio Spurs, Spurs understood that he wanted a max deal. They were willing to pay it. They're going to pay it. I mean, he's not getting super max money, and you can best believe that after the deal that he's got with San Antonio, he's probably not going to get super max money or even maybe close to being another max deal. Yeah. So you got to pay your players, man. I mean, people don't realize if you don't use that money, they penalize you. You have to spend the money that you're allocated to on players. So, I mean, yeah, it's the max deal thing. People always say that. I mean, hell, dude, Luol Deng got a quadruple max deal, and I mean, there's Chandler Parsons. I mean, we're getting more out of De'Aaron Fox than Chandler Parsons ever gave out of his max deal. There's a ton of guys that get max deals that are being way worse than De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We're going to go ahead and put a bow on this live episode of Spurs in Focus. So again, we appreciate you for leaving a comment, helping us drive this show. Again, Rudy and I, we definitely appreciate it. But yeah, we'll definitely be back tomorrow with the Game 2 preview. Again, James Espinosa is up on deck out of the Sunday Sports Rush. So we'll be talking adjustments. What do we see in Game 1? Well, that's the big question. Is it already a must-win for the Spurs? So much more. That'll be good for tomorrow. Rudy, what is going on with the answer?
Yeah, so the Sports Answer, every Friday, you can catch us on Answer Now TV as well as Box Score Studio TV on YouTube. And it's myself, it's Derek Irvin. We're going to break down Game 1. We're also going to talk about Game 2, which would be Friday night as well. So we'll get you guys ready. A lot of NFL news that has come out. So a lot of speculation on whether Aaron Donald's going to be coming out of retirement, something that I had tweeted and texted a lot of people about way before that even came out. So we'll have more info on that this Friday on the Friday Drive, plus your San Antonio Spurs, New York Knicks preview as well for Game 2. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see if we can get Jeff on the show as well, maybe to do a little bit of
I'm
a
looking forward to it too. Yeah, well, that's all I'm saying. San Antonio applauding this Sports Answer.
Harder than the job.
Check out the Sports Answer, or better yet, just follow Rudy on X at the Sports Answer. That's the best way to do it. And yeah, again, Rudy, thank you for staying up late with me to react to the Spurs loss. Yes, everybody, your San Antonio Spurs lost Game 1, 105-95, down 0-1 to the Knicks in the NBA Finals. But as Wemby said, team's not worried. He's not worried. It's still a first to 4. So the series is just beginning. And yeah, we appreciate y'all as well staying up late with us. And don't forget, thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. This should be your first spot. Not all those other shows you see on YouTube. Unsubscribe to them. You want to just come here to Spurs in Focus every day, every time you want to talk silver and black. Don't forget to subscribe to the Spurs in Focus Substack. It is completely free. Just Google it, Spurs in Focus Substack, and then sign up, and you're in. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Amazon Podcasts, iTunes, and YouTube Music. You just subscribe, especially on YouTube, to Spurs in Focus. That's the money spot. That's the sweet spot you want to go to. Again, subscribe on YouTube, Spurs in Focus. Yeah. Rough night, but the Spurs, we'll see what they got in Game 2. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.